Major Bitcoin and crypto news out of Sony this morning. What's this really all about? Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. This week's going to be interesting, right? For those of us living in the States, it is July 4th, Independence Day on Thursday, so probably going to be a pretty light week. But look, nonetheless, that doesn't stop the hopium from coming into the market and making us all excited about the future. And speaking about that future, here we go. This tweet out of Bitcoin Magazine just in. $103 billion company, right? Sony, to launch Bitcoin and crypto exchange. And of course, right, Bitcoin Magazine, probably one of the best hopium cheerleaders, right? That just paints everything with the rosy lens. But like, the truth is, like, what's the real impact on Bitcoin? Like, are they really launching a Bitcoin and crypto exchange? Well, I did some digging, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot less Bitcoin and it's a lot more crypto. But more specifically, it's about their own walled garden, right? Sony's walled garden. And nobody should be surprised by this. These are private. Well, actually, let me rephrase that, right? These are private corporations that are publicly held, so to speak, right? So they have a board of directors, they have shareholders. Essentially, they are their own walled gardens. So let's dive into this and let's see like what's the real news. For the people who know who Sony is, you know that they're not a crypto company. Number one. Number two, if you're a Gen Xer, Sony probably means the Walkman to you, the Discman, right? Like, Sony pretty much had a monopoly on the portable cassette players back in the 80s and 90s. And all the millennials and Zoomers are like, cassette players? That's right. That's how old that is. Anyways, more recently, you would know Sony through PlayStation, right? PlayStation being the number one gaming console. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense that they would want to build their own little walled garden. It kind of makes sense that they would want to have their own in-game currency. So I guess it's not much of a stretch that they would get into crypto. Anyways, let's dive into this. Sony, with a $100 billion market cap, has taken a major step into the world of crypto by acquiring Amber Japan. Operating crypto trading services Whalefin, which has been rebranded as S-Blocks. The exact launch date for S-Blocks is yet to be announced. August 2022, Sony's subsidiary Quetta Webco acquired the Japanese crypto exchange INCURRED, later rebranded as Amber Japan. This move allowed Sony to enter the cryptocurrency market following the exchange's challenges due to the FTX collapse. Moreover, Sony's crypto venture is part of its broader strategy to diversify and explore new technologies, including creating a public blockchain network with Starttail Labs. So that's right, guys. This whole marketing push, right, about an exchange and everything, Sony's going to make their own shitcoin. Oh my God, we're surprised. Okay, there's more stuff going on behind the scenes, so let's dive into it, right? Because S-Blocks is essentially this newly named exchange that Sony is planning to launch with no date, and it originally comes from a different platform, which was called Whalefin Crypto. S-Blocks said it upgraded the Whalefin crypto offering in January and is further improving it. Plans to collaborate with various Sony Group businesses. That's right, guys, because this is what they're going to do, right? They have a walled garden, and they're essentially going to create an entire ecosystem for their media, which, again, right, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you think that this is going to be anything other than a Chuck E. Cheese token, you're very mistaken. Anyways, it already offers a promotional deal for customers of the Naru Mobile, the Sony mobile contract reseller. New signups to Whalefin receive yen 3,000 worth of Bitcoin, equivalent to about $18.60 US. Naru Mobile is part of the Sony Network Communications. Last year, the same division invested in Starttail Labs, which essentially is going to be Sony's own public blockchain. The founder of the Astar network, a Polkadot parachain. That's right, guys. This is just a fork from some Polkadot bullshit. Additionally, it set up a joint venture with Startail to create a Sony blockchain with plans to leverage the group's intellectual properties across the metaverse with its ownership of Sony Pictures, music, and PlayStations. The group has many brands it can deploy. Meanwhile, Sony Bank is about to launch its Sony Bank Connect app. I bet most people didn't know that Sony had a bank. I didn't know until I dug into this. So this is interesting, right? So they're going to offer NFT entertainment rewards linked to financial products. So in other words, JPEGs you don't own to fleece you of your dollars. That's that simple. Anyways, as long as you understand that when you're buying these things, okay, I don't have an issue. The problem happens when you think you're making an investment or the company shilling you these products is misinforming you into thinking that somehow these JPEGs you don't own are storing your value. They are not. Anyways, it started pre-registering users for its Web3 app 2 weeks ago. The group also provides an NFT marketplace, SNFT, where users can grade their NFTs. Okay, so, I mean, it's obviously clear that Sony's diving into shitcoins. You can see from all of this, right? There's very little mention about Bitcoin. Actually, almost no mention about Bitcoin. It really is all about their shitcoin, okay? And I just to finish this off, right? Because people are probably wondering, where does Amber Group come from, right? So here, Amber Group is a crypto finance service provider that provides liquidity, provision, trading, and asset management services. Amber Group was founded in 2017 by a group of finance professionals from Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and Bloomberg. So when I read news like this, where they're trying to make it about Bitcoin, look, I appreciate it, but that's not really what's going on here. Sony's not doing anything really with Bitcoin. It's anytime you see crypto exchange, it's not about Bitcoin. They're just trying to market the platform that they're building, okay, and that is going to be going live. Now, I'm not blaming them for doing that or anything like that. That's not the point of this video, right? Like, I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, Sony is terrible because they're not using Bitcoin." I mean, look, in all fairness, I'd rather Sony just put Bitcoin on its balance sheet and just do the stupid sailor move. Don't have a company that makes a good product? No problem. Just buy Bitcoin and hold it. And again, right? That's totally fine. Everybody is entitled to do whatever it is that they want with their money. What I don't appreciate is that we have these Bitcoin media outlets, right? That essentially paint every single thing as a rosy picture. And the thing is this, right? The audience consists of all different types of people, and of course, you can't make everybody happy all the time. You can only make some people happy some of the time. But what you can do is help noobs not get wrecked, right? You can still tell them that this stuff is happening, but they can have a more accurate picture of what is going on. So when I see something like that from Bitcoin Magazine, where it's like Sony is making a Bitcoin and crypto exchange, it's not the big B Bitcoin, right? It's the little b. You don't really see it, and it's the big C in crypto. Okay. So yeah, guys, there's going to be most likely a big marketing push for the Amber exchange. Something that for the noobs that were not here in the previous cycle, something you may not be aware of that a lot of crypto exchanges do is that they incentivize you to trade certain tokens. So they do these kind of competitions, right? These trading competitions, and essentially the traders that trade the most volume end up getting a prize, right? And what does that do in terms of perception? If you aren't aware of these contests, right, and you're looking at these new exchanges that show up, you're seeing massive amounts of volume and you're thinking to yourself, this is real, this is organic, this is happening. Guys, it's a lot of noise. Believe me, I would love to be sitting here and telling you that, yeah, Sony's all about Bitcoin. No, they're not, guys. No, they're not. It's just another walled garden trying to ensure their moat. And if you take a look at Sony's track record, okay, Sony has had actually pretty incredible luck throughout history remaining relevant. Okay, they have. Now, is this going to work? Maybe, maybe not. But I'll tell you this. I have already been wrecked by enough shit chains. I've already been wrecked by enough partnership parades and the technology trap and the concern trolling for this is better tech. None of these shitcoins are going to be able to duplicate the fact that digital scarcity can only be created or discovered once. And that was Bitcoin. Guys, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to catch you tomorrow.